Welcome back to Ben's Garage. For those of you that are avid followers of the channel will know that I've already done some videos on diagnostic gear, especially concerning the Range Rover. So we've got the iCarSoft and I've also got the Gap ID tool. Now this is quite expensive, but it does a lot of stuff. You can change the CCF files, you can remap the ECU with this thing. As I say, that's quite expensive. I've got the iCarSoft. I think I paid about £140 for this. This is the Land Rover version 2, so it covers all Land Rovers and all modules on the Land Rover. So that, it does get quite involved. You can get an iCarSoft, which is the CR Pro, I think it is. That does all makes, all models, but that's a little bit more money. And in today's video, I've been sent something to try. This is the C-Reader Professional 123E by Launch. I won't do much of an unboxing, but there's plenty of those on YouTube. So when you open the box, you've just got that. So we're going to get it out. I've not plugged it into the car yet. Don't know what that was. I'm sorry if this is starting to sound like a bit of a shopping channel with all this stuff that gets sent to me and I'm trying it out. But this is the Launch CR123E touchscreen, Android based. It is wired, so you do have to plug it in, like the Gap tool's Bluetooth. This plugs in exactly the same as the iCarSoft. Now I have already taken it out of the box and powered it up, gone through all the initial settings, connected it to the Wi-Fi, and I've done all the updates. There was quite a few updates on it to do. Now there was a lot of complaints on the internet about this with their download speed, saying that it took forever. A lot of people's only getting like 100 or 200 kilobytes. Now I plugged this in today and I was getting 4,000 kilobytes and it downloaded pretty quick, to be honest. It is touchscreen, as we'll find out in a minute. And yeah, it's got a nice length of cable. So I think what we'll do is I'll get the other little camera out and point it at this and see what it does. Press and hold that button for 5 seconds. Here we go. See how long it takes to boot up. Right, so I'm gonna... Oh, it's checking the VIN. Let's see if it comes up with the right one. No. I have seen people go into the diagnose and click the auto detect and it works. No, let me put the ignition on. Here we go, 2010 Land Rover. Now start the so it tells me what it is. It's a Land Rover 368 DT V8 3.6 diesel, and it asks you if the information is correct, which it is, so yes. And it's just going to give me a health report now. So it comes up with your chassis number, what it is, you can put all your details in here if you're a workshop or something, garage, the name, address, telephone number and all that lot. And it is telling me everything's normal. So we'll come out of that. Let's enter the ECM. Let's read fault code. No fault codes, which is good. All right. Read data stream. So everything there you can. There's 97 different things on the engine ECM. Select all. OK. So your accelerator position 0 because I've not got my foot on it. Let me see if I put my foot on it if it will change. Yeah, I've accelerated, so we're at 100% now. 75, 56, blah blah blah. Obviously the engine's not running at the moment, but you can just battery voltage 11.75. I know there is quite a load on it in a minute. Let me just start the car up. So you can record all this data and then look at it back later on. I'm not going to bother with that. So I'll go back. Transmission. So this is a 4-system scanner. So it does engine, transmission, anti-lock braking system, and your supplemental inflatable restraint system. So we'll go back. Yes. Okay. Oh, it's probably going to go back into it again now. Yeah. Let's just give me all the health report again. But anyway, let's come back out of that. Yes. Back. So we can do IM readiness, OBD2. Battery voltage, that'll just give you a graph. I mean, it's basic. You know, if I take the revs up, it won't go up much more than that anyway. It's brought it up to nearly 14 volts. So we'll clear out of that. So you've got your upgrade, your settings, reset, battery voltage data, so you can click on there. If you get a fault code, you can come into this. You can find out what your DTC library, you can put in your DTC number and that will tell you what it is. There's all sorts of things on here. I'm not going to go into it too much. I just wanted to see if it would communicate with the Range Rover. IM readiness, so it's connecting. So a lot of these things are not supported. Unsupported. Fuel system has been completed. EGR not ready. Now the EGR has been deleted from the ECU on this. So let me see what this one says for the fuel system. Nothing by the look of it. Can't go into anything on that, on this particular car. Yeah, I want to exit. So diagnose, we can actually go down. I mean, it's got every model on here. So we've got Jaguar, but then we've got Land Rover here. So let's touch on that. Let's go OK. So it's connecting now. It won't find anything different. So I can automatically search. And then it's going to read the VIN and bring up the information again. So there we go. We can health report, system selection, vehicle information. So you can bring up your model with your VIN number, tells you your transmission, your engine, the battery delivery mode, suspension delivery mode and locking in delivery mode are all inactive. That's when they're transporting the vehicle. It's 4-wheel drive. Spare wheel, yes. Oh, how does the scanner know it's got a spare wheel? Anyway, parking aid, yes, it's got front and back. Speed dependent intermittent wipers, yes. Speed dependent front windscreen, yeah. Headlamp delay, yes, 30 seconds. It has got daylight running lamps in the system, but it's not activated, and you have to use the gap tool for activating those. Police lamps have been disabled. Well, I don't know what police lamps are. So time limited panic, second process. It's just all different things that are on the car. Speed locking. I'm assuming that's when you start driving, it locks the doors. I could be wrong. Lazy entry, navigation system, navigation region, language, temperature. It's got everything. It tells you what the car. I've got everything set in the menus on the car. It tells you here what I've got it set to. It's telling me here about the battery as well, that it's got the 90 amp hour, 950 cold cranking amps. Yeah, so that's all that. Let's come out system selection. So we've got the engine, transmission, ABS. Let's go for ABS. Version information. So it gives you all your information, your serial numbers and all that lot. Read fault code, no faults. That's what we like. Read data stream. So you can select all of these. So let's select all. Click OK. And apparently all this is inactive. It's got your body roll rate, your brake fluid pressure, your control module voltage. So it's come out of that. So the SRS system, this one will be interesting. So let's select all of that and we'll see what that says. It's got all your voltages, your resistances. So if you've got an airbag or something, or a seatbelt that's not working, you'll be able to pick it out from this. So that's got the health report on it again. I want to exit, yes. Come out of that. End your diagnostic session. And there you go. So we can go into history and it will bring up the history of the vehicles that I've plugged it into. For some reason it's got a Volkswagen Touareg. I know what that is. I did the demo on it earlier when I was indoors. But this is the access, so I could do the quick access on these and it will take me back into the car that I've already used it on. I believe that's what that is. So it's got all models, everything on here. US, European, Asian. Now on Mull, you have to connect to the internet for that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But it seems to do quite a good job. So we'll switch the car off. And we'll unplug it. And you just press and hold that button and it'll switch it off. 3 seconds, power off, touch that, there you go. So there you have it, the CR Reader 123E from launch, touchscreen. This is Android 7.1. It's got 16 gig of memory and 2 gig of RAM, I believe, something like that. It might even say it on here, might even say it on the box. I don't know. It's got all makes and all models, but just the 4 systems. But on the mall setting, if you're connected to the internet, you can go into each model and you can download onto this unit all systems for the car that you're planning to use it on. You can also do all systems for all makes and all models, but I don't know if that will really fill up the memory. It is a subscription for to upgrade this, and that subscription only lasts for a year. If you do a lot of home mechanicking and all that kind of thing, it would be worth it. For me, using obviously the iCar soft, which is dedicated, the dedicated Land Rover version. This is a bit smaller because this has got a really nice big screen on it. It is a bit smaller, but that's dedicated Land Rover, and that does all systems, whereas this one only does 4 systems: engine, transmission, ABS and SRS. But you can upgrade this to all systems on your particular car. Whether that's something you'd want to do or not, I don't know. I mean, you could get the iCar Soft CR Pro, which was about £250. That does all makes and all models and all systems. It just depends what you like. I mean, some people like a touch screen and with the internet capability. Now with this, with it being wireless, Wi-Fi, you can record what you've done on here. So if you're like a garage or a workshop, you can record what you've done. You can email it to your customers. You can do a print off and say, look, this is the print off for your car. It's coming for such and such a fault, but it's got other faults on it, that sort of thing. Or if personal use, you found a load of faults on it, you want to print it off so you've got a reference and then you can look it up. If you've got Wi-Fi on this, if you've got the coverage, and you can, and it brings up a fault, it will bring up with the DTC number, the diagnostic trouble code number. You can then press that and it will go straight to Google with a suggestion of what it is that's gone wrong. You know, it does tell you what it is on here, but it will go to Google, bring up pictures, bring up articles on the internet for that particular fault, which I think is quite a handy, thing. Obviously here, I've not got Wi-Fi in the garage yet, so I tried that function and I've got no coverage. But I mean, a lot of people could just connect this to their phone and use it as like the phone as a hotspot. But yeah, would I recommend it? I'm not sure. It's very well built, and if you're only checking for 4 systems, it's ideal. Nice bright touch screen. You can alter the brightness on it and everything. If you wanted to get more involved with further systems in the car and you've got to upgrade this, then I think probably going for the CR Pro version of the iCar Soft would be a better bet, because it's a one-off fee. Although that's £250, this was €200, but with €15 off. But it has got the subscription fee, which only lasts for a year for all systems. So that's just something to bear in mind. But yeah, it's connected to the Range Rover. It didn't like connecting up straight away until I put the ignition on. Once I put the ignition on and did the auto detect, it ran through and it picked up the VIN number. I've just got bits all over the car here. So I hear you saying, what are you doing with all this diagnostic gear? I'm sending this to my brother. My brother is not very mechanically minded, but he has a go. He actually fitted a new intercooler to his Volkswagen T5 the other day. He bought a cheap scanner off Amazon, and it would clear the code, but it wasn't very comprehensive and it won't connect to his van. This one possibly will. So Ollie, when you get this, read the instructions. They're in the box. Because I know what he's like. He'll just plug it in and start pressing buttons and stuff. But yeah, so that's all. Yeah, it's pretty good. And as I say, Launch got in touch with me. via email, and they wanted me to do an Amazon review to start with, and I says, yeah, I'd do a review, and I'll do a video on it. And they said, well, we're not that worried about a video, they just wanted an Amazon review. So it's pretty good. It's good quality. It's got speakers in it as well, and it's got sound and everything. You can adjust all of those. You can switch the auto detect feature off for the VIN number, so you can manually input that and all that kind of thing. But back to, would I buy it? For me, no, because I've got the gap tool, which is a massive tool on these Land Rovers. I've got the iCarSoft, which, although it's dedicated Land Rover, it's got the OBD2 function on it, and that will read any other make and model as well. Although it's not the CR Pro, it will read other models, other makes and models, and so I can get by with that and that other one, and the gap tool for Land Rovers. So this, although it does all makes and models, I personally wouldn't have bought it, but it is a good bit of kit. If you want one of these, I'll put some links in the description. They're Amazon links, so if you do purchase through those links, I will get a little bit of kickback, but it won't cost you any extra. So this will now be making its merry way to England, where my brother can get his hands on it and see what damage he can do. So I hope you like this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.